I went and bit the bullet and saw Expelled today. And I can tell you, I am sickened and fired up. I have known all along about the creationists and that this is what they are, shameless. But they have really undercut my lowest expectations with this one. Well, no, not really, because my expectations really were that low to start with. The premise of this film is that within the scientific community there has been such a crackdown on intellectual freedom that for anyone but anyone to challenge the theory of Darwin is for them to put their reputations and job on the line. They then show a series of about half dozen people who have lost their job in some academic institution or another and claim that it was because of their view on intelligent design that they were fired. All the evidence given for these claims is shots of letters that you are only allowed to read or see the entire letter, at least not long enough to read it, but you're only shown a few highlighted remarks about ID. None of these stories are reported on or examined in any sort of depth or detail. These folks just say they lost their job due to ID, possibly due to their religion, and this is good enough for Stein. They do at least mention that the decision makers at all these institutions deny it all. I wonder why that is. At some point in the film they mention the Scopes trial and how evolutionists consider that to be a victory. But no, it wasn't. It was a loss for them because the law against teaching evolution was upheld in Tennessee. And Scopes was found guilty. Now, where is their upholding of academic freedom? A teacher being barred for teaching ID is being persecuted, but if a teacher is prosecuted for teaching evolution, that is the upholding of the law? I smell a double standard. After this, the majority of the film is a mishmash of emotional manipulation, confusing social Darwinism with the scientific Darwinist theory, showing a lot of shots of gas chambers, and basically blaming Darwin for the Holocaust. Someone Stein interviewed even said that while Darwinism was not a sufficient condition for the Holocaust, it was a necessary condition. Now hold on just a moment. Is he saying that all the centuries of the persecution of Jews in Europe is not sufficient in itself? Martin Luther lived long before Darwin, and you already see serious signs of the hatred of Jews in his writings, as in the Jews and their lies. And even before him you see hatred of Jews in European Christendom, long before Martin Luther wrote his rant. I have provided links regarding this in the sidebar. I have also provided a link to the Expelled Exposed site, which shoots down the Darwin leads to eugenics argument. Also, check out the other material on their site. They examine the expelled arguments in much more depth than I do. At this point, I'll let the historians pick apart the Nazi Darwin link. There are also other subtle things I picked up on in the film. For one thing, Stein goes to great length to explain that all this intelligent design stuff is not really about God or about any particular religious view, but in the end it's all about God. Of course, evolution necessarily leads to atheism. And that is what this is all about, really. He claims that ID has been misrepresented in the media, saying stuff like life is too complicated, so God must have done it. But a few scenes later, he and his friendly interviewees go on the record as saying really exactly that. They use a cell animation to boggle the minds of their audience with the vast complexity of the inner workings of the cell, and say, in effect, this is too complicated to have come about without an intelligent designer. Like in the example of the Scopes trial above, they show their hypocrisy. Not that I expect their followers will question anything they say, but then again, some of those followers might just question. After all, I was weaned on creationist propaganda, even my homeschool high school biology textbook. A major bit of what led me to my atheism was learning about all the lies and shameless distortions the creationists use to advance their cause. So, to all of those out there who really think that Ben Stein and co. have made some good points, don't just believe everything they say. Read, research, and find the answers for yourself. Do what Ben Stein says he does. Question authority and get to the truth. Thank you for watching.